On today's episode of the Bowl Crew podcast, the Super Bowl is in the books, and now it's full speed ahead for the 2026 season. We break down what we're most excited about heading into the year, and we discuss the Chargers' new coach, the one they just added to the staff, what it can mean moving forward. We'll unveil our first look at the 2026 draft, and we'll take a look at what the odds makers think about the Chargers reaching the Super Bowl in 2026. It all starts right now on the Bowl Crew podcast.
Hey, yeah. Hey, it's the Boat Crew, and we always win it. Ay, go against us, I don't recommend it. Ay, it's the Boat Crew, best up in the business. It's the Boat Crew, repping for the city. Macking on and off the field like Khalil. They hate on us cause we keep it too real. I'm talking smack like Phil Rivers in the field. Oh, you mad again cause we kept it real? Why you mad? Ay, I'm talking smack, I feel like Uncle Dave. Ay, I bring the pain, I feel like Derwin James. I could run and gun, I feel like Herbo down the lane. I feel like LT the way I'm stiff arming these lanes. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah. Ay, we just wanna win, we just wanna win, ay. Putting on for the city, putting on for the city. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Bolt Crew podcast. Dave Pele, Mario O'Hara, and Josh Pele on his way to the show as he's traveling right now will be joining us probably in about 20, 30 minutes, hopefully. He is, I just spoke to him about 20 minutes ago, not in a good mood as he is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. As he said to me, I have no idea why anyone would ever choose to go to LSU. This place is a hellhole. And that being said, here we are. We're talking Charger football with you. Appreciate everyone joining us at an unusual time, 3 o'clock. Normally it's 1 o'clock Pacific time. We'll be back at that time on Thursday's show. But Mario, again, Super Bowl's over. And, obviously, Seattle, you go ahead and you say we're world champs, and they move forward super fast. You're just seeing all of a sudden the way it works when you win a Super Bowl. You're seeing the stars that go to Disneyland. You're seeing guys who are on the late night shows. The parade happens. The Raiders introduced the Seattle's OC as their new head coach already. And all of a sudden, 2025 literally is behind you like that, right? It's all about winning that championship, and then they move forward really, really quick. As we talked about with Indiana football, how they have moved forward already, and that was a few weeks ago, telling their best player in history, hey, you got to get out of the facility. We're moving on to the 2026 season. And that's the way it works in the NFL too. And for Charger fans, we're kind of waited for this moment. Our season ended against the Patriots, and then we can officially say everyone is now moving forward. It's not just us who's a little bit upset or bitter that their season came to an end. We're all looking forward to 2026, and we're off and going. And since we last spoke, the Chargers have added a new coach to the staff. Tell us about the new coach and what it means for the Chargers.
Yeah, it means Jay Cutler is going to come out of retirement and be a backup for no. Look, Adam Gase at one point in time, he's going to be the passing game coordinator, but at one point in time, he was kind of like the Shanahan, if you will, of the NFL. He had that kind of hype around him as a young head coach. The New York Jets took a risk on him. He was supposed to develop Sam Darnold. It didn't really work out that way. Sam Darnold started seeing ghosts. Next thing you know, Gase is out of a job. And Darnold's out of a job, and obviously it's worked out for Sam, and maybe it still might work out for Adam one day. But he had two kind of chances at the head coaching position. It kind of failed both ways. He had good amount of success, so as an OC with the Chicago Bears and with the Denver Broncos. He was the OC with Tim Tebow and Peyton Manning. So it's not like he was failure upon failure. It's just he wasn't a head coach. He's taken quite a big hiatus since. He's last coach in the league. I think it was 2020, so it's been quite some time. But I think he's stepping into a pretty good situation right now at the Los Angeles Chargers. Obviously, he's going to learn under Mike McDaniel. Obviously, he's going to be able to work with Justin Herbert. Kind of a way for him to rehabilitate his career. Do I think it's a genius move? It's not a move I'm going to run home about, but I don't think his voice is going to be that big in the locker room, Dave. And I think it's still going to be the Mike McDaniel show, and I think it's still going to be the Justin Herbert show. It's clearly just a way for him to get back in the league. And I wouldn't stress about it too much. Charger Twitter went a little too crazy about it, if you ask my opinion.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'll tell you why the hire's not a bad hire. There are a couple things that come into it. One is you have a coach from the top down. Let's go Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is not threatened that somebody is coming in and taking his job, right? This is Jim Harbaugh's team. There's a reason he's here. There's a reason he makes $20 million a year. Jim Harbaugh is never going to be an assistant coach in this league again. Either Jim Harbaugh is a head coach or Jim Harbaugh is done. The only way you ever see him as an assistant is if he's, 80 years old and maybe he wants to help his son out down the line, who eventually gets a head coaching job, who congratulations to Jay for winning a Super Bowl. Now as a ring, as we spoke about both in college and in the NFL, winning Super Bowl champion. But Jim is a head coach that is comfortable in his position. He brings in another head coach, right, from Miami. And now he brings in another head coach from Miami and with the Jets. And so it's one of those where when you have a head coach, usually when you have that job, you have seen a lot. And you've learned a lot of things, whether it's how to communicate with players, it's things you've learned that makes an offense work in Gase's position and McDaniel's position. And Mario, we discussed this a couple of weeks ago, and I think this is the front end of something bigger, as a famous broadcaster used to say, meaning that if Mike McDaniel has the season we all hope he's going to have, he is getting a head coaching job a year from right now. And if Mike McDaniel's getting a head coaching job a year from right now, that means the Chargers offense was one that everybody was talking about, and they were effective and how explosive it was. If he does a great job, he is now a head coach somewhere else, and we're looking for an OC. Boom. We just trained an OC for a year of what we like to do. So yeah, you have Gase, who's been an OC. He had success, did not have success as a head coach. We've seen that movie 100 times. We had one with Norv Turner. We've seen it before. But then you have a situation where it makes it seamless for Justin Herbert to go from one coach to the other coach moving forward in possibly the 2027 season. You aren't going to see a storyline in Los Angeles of, man, Jim Harbaugh thought he had a good staff, but man, he had two coaches on his staff that are trying to stab him in the back the entire time. That's not what's going to happen with this group of guys.
No, not at all. And you can look at it another way too of, he has a lot of experience in this league. Like, this is a guy that has not only been a coordinator, but he's been a head coach. He's definitely learned a lot through those times. And, look, it's really hard to win with the Jets. That's a failure rate of 98%. Only 2% of coaches really have had success. And if they've had it, they've been out 2 years later. It's not anyone that's going to be thrown into Harbaugh. I think it's a smart move bringing in someone in. I saw Mike G commented, and I don't know if I agree with this at all. The Rams get Kingsbury, and the Chargers get Gase, SMH. I don't think they're related at all. First off, Gase won't be calling any plays. If anything, he'll just be giving some insight to Mike. Mike will be calling the plays. Kingsbury is a lot better of an OC than Gase is, obviously. But how much power and how much control is he really going to have in the McVay offense? Not a lot. Gase is not going to be this big, humongous voice that changes everything. It's not Greg Roman part 2 kind of coming in there. Like, no. That. It's not going to have that big of an effect. We're not going to be in September, Dave, going, damn it, that Gase guy, he's just really blowing this up. You know what I mean? That's just not going to happen.
It's never going to be part of our post-game shows. You'll never know the impact that Gase actually has. Not on this side. The players might know. Maybe Justin Herbert knows. Jim Harbaugh might know. You can't compare Kingsbury to Gase because it's really Kingsbury to McDaniel. That's the position. That's the position you're comparing to. And we all said who we wanted as our OC, and we got what we wanted. I think if we asked us who would be our top 3 choices, we would have said McDaniel, we would have said Dable, we would have said Kingsbury. But we got it. We've got one of our guys, if not the number one guy on our list. I'm perfectly fine with what they're doing. And again, if Mike McDaniel is gone in a year, you don't want to bring somebody in that Justin Herbert goes, great. Got to learn a new offense, new terminology. Nothing ever changes with this organization. If this goes the way of plan, hopefully everything goes seamless. And this is where the Chargers are at. Teams that struggle, even teams that win, are stuck working things out again. Like Sam Darnold and the Seahawks, who just won a Super Bowl 2 days ago, all of a sudden are going to be dealing with a new OC, right? You got new coordinators. It stinks when you lose an offense or defensive coordinator. And so for the Chargers, to me, this is fine. Right now, it's plug and play with the players you're bringing in. Meaning the key guys are already there, and Justin Herbert. You get your offensive line healthy on the guys that were banged up. You throw some guys in there with a new offensive lineman that will be coming in. You go through the draft, and all of a sudden the Chargers are where they should be. And if let's hope no injuries. Obviously, they're part of the league. But man, on paper, let's make a run at the Super Bowl here. This is the year.
This has to be the year. We don't know how long Mike McDaniel's going to be on this staff. 2 years tops. I'd be shocked if it goes 3. So it is kind of a rental situation. Their window is now. Their window of opportunity is open. And, we're not the only ones saying this, Dave, because Vegas has the Chargers as the odds-on favorite to win the AFC West.
Hell yeah.
Are you shocked by that?
No, you think I was the one working there. I know. I told you before that I think this makes the most sense. Now, look, it's early. The free agency hasn't happened and the draft hasn't happened. So those odds could change. But no, I think it makes the most amount of sense. Look, there are issues right now with almost every team in that division. Okay. Right now, KC is in maybe a rebuild mode. Mahomes says he's coming back in September. You're hearing people who are saying that's not how the injury works, that Mahomes is not going to be the same player as far as the ability to scramble and basically things that he does to extend, plays on third down, especially, that Mahomes might not be the same player he ever was. And especially at the beginning coming back. You're gonna probably draft a running back in the first round if you're the Chiefs. They obviously don't think what they have in Hunt and Pacheco are the guys. Travis Kelce, shadow of himself, what he used to be when he was great. The Chiefs have major problems. The one thing they still have is Andy Reid. They got older guys on defense all of a sudden. We used to talk about how young the Chiefs defense was. Chris Jones, not very good anymore. So if you're the Chiefs, you're going, hey, maybe your time has passed. Now people want to go look at Denver. They just won the division. All of a sudden, what is going on in Denver? They got major problems. You got a head coach and a quarterback that are fighting with each other. You have a coach that does not respect the quarterback, a coach that was quoted as saying, if I knew about your injury problems in the past, I never would have drafted you. I don't know. Does the organization eventually have to make a choice? Who are you keeping, the coach or the quarterback? My guess is you're keeping the quarterback. They're harder to find. Sean Payton maybe ran his mouth a little bit too much, a little pipsqueak. And so who knows what happens there in Denver? All I know is it's not going as well as it is in Los Angeles with the Chargers. And so I think it's the right move. Look, the Raiders have so many goddamn holes. They might get the quarterback that, could be great for years to come. It doesn't matter. He could play the best football going next year as a quarterback, and that Raider team's going to struggle because they have holes everywhere. Everywhere that team has problems. They got problems on defense. They got problems on the offensive line. They don't have guys to throw to. The Raiders are a complete mess. So I'm not even concerned about the Raiders for a couple years. But right now, this division to me is between the Broncos and the Chargers. And it's a lot easier being a Charger fan today, knowing that the head coach and the quarterback right now have major issues in Denver.
So that's what I was surprised mostly about, is how Denver isn't the odds-on favorite. They were just the number one seed in the AFC. They just won the division. That defense is terrifying. You could make the argument that if Bo Nix is healthy, they probably beat the Pats and they're in the Super Bowl. Now, would they beat the Seahawks? I don't think so. But you can make the argument that they would be in there one way from taking home the championship. Obviously, I think this odds represent the questions around Bo Nix that you mentioned and his injury timeline as a whole. The Chiefs, look, it's Mahomes, so you're never going to say I don't trust them because it's Mahomes. And they have the 9th overall pick. Like, let's say they swing a freaking home run with that pick and they get Jeremiah Love or they get, some type of offensive weapon. That could massively change the trajectory of their team.
Okay, let's say they get Love. That's what I have in my mock draft, is that they're getting the running back from Notre Dame. They're getting Love. Does that change a lot of things for you, honestly?
Yes. It changes a lot of things for me.
See, and with Andy Reid's offense, I'll almost believe it when I see it, because he's had running backs in different situations in his coaching career, and he still likes the pass more than the run. It's never going to be a heavy run team. There are guys he's had, the running backs, that I thought if you keep feeding them the ball, eventually these guys are going to get better and better. I thought Pacheco was a dangerous running back for a while. I thought he's had guys in Philadelphia. I thought he's had guys before that in the running game that maybe other coaches like Jim Harbaugh probably would have said, let's rely on the run a little bit more. Andy Reid doesn't go that way. He's a pass first guy for sure.
But I think they'll use Love in the passing game a lot. Like, he can do that.
Okay, so Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I mean, eventually,
he's like twice the player Clyde Helaire ever was, by far. So, I get what you're saying. By the way, like we were saying,
he's a West Coast offense guy, is what Andy Reid is, right? He is.
But that doesn't mean Love won't do damage in that offense.
No, I think he'll be very good. I think he'll be a very good player. I'm not saying that. My point is he could be outstanding, and I still think Andy Reid's going to sit there and say, this is Mahomes. We're going to basically move the ball up and down the field through Mahomes.
I also don't know
if be that guy that you go, man, he probably should be carrying the ball 20 to 25 times a game, and you're going to see him carry the ball 10 to 13 times a game.
I also don't want to be in the camp of thinking the Chiefs are just done. and that dynasty's over, because I just can't fathom that happening. I think we're entering like phase 2 of it, and I just don't want to be the one getting my ass kicked because I said it's done, it's over forever.
Could you see
They're
the
gonna be
Chiefs?
good.
Okay, as I just said, my opinion, I don't know. If I was the Chiefs, I'd grab Love at a Notre Dame in a heartbeat. Yeah. But I could see the Chiefs, after seeing what happened with their defensive line, going, we got to get some help on this defensive line quick. Like, there are guys out there that can help us on this defensive line right now, whether it's Bain from Miami, whether it's somebody that can put pressure on a quarterback, because Chris Jones is a shadow of himself. Would it shock you if Chris Jones all of a sudden wasn't a Chief next year? Wouldn't me.
It wouldn't shock me that much. What would worry me, though, is if they got one of these edge rushers, because this is the best edge rushing class we've seen in a long time. It's so good, Dave, that if some reason one of them kind of fell and the Chargers are out there at 22 and they took a pass rusher, I'd be upset, but I'd be like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, that's a very pretty girl right there. Like, you got to take him out on the date. Like, that's best player available. You got to do what you got to do. Mac out the door. Double O, resigned, we hope. Tuli there. That's dangerous stuff. But I feel like the Chiefs, I feel like that's a lock that they get Love. Like, that's got to be number one thing that they do. But that being said, are you rattled at all that with the Chargers being odds-on favorite after they lost Minter? Because there is a universe where this defense takes a massive step back.
Yeah, I don't think they do. And we had Tony Jefferson on the other day, and Tony was so sold on O'Leary. I'm like, well, me too then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and if that's the case and it's one and the same and you're getting the same guy, maybe the way the message is delivered might be a little bit different. But here you are. You have an NFL vet in Tony Jefferson who said how happy he is that he has the job. I think Eric Weddle came out and said the same thing. Like, people cannot say enough great things about the new Chargers DC. So, yeah, losing Minter stinks because we're really impressed with him. But it sounds like we got the closest thing to Jesse Minter.
It does. And this defense does have better talent. And, hopefully we can add more to that secondary. Hopefully maybe add more to that running back room. Maybe Junior Colson turns out to be pretty good.
Oh, boy.
This is just what we needed. Year 4 bump. I will, as a betting man, though, I'm not going to bet this now, but Broncos plus 215 for AFC West. I mean, I'm not holding that ticket for a year, but I'd flirt with that like no other.
So right now, DraftKings has, if according to their odds, the Buffalo Bills will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, which I find interesting. And then the other part is the team in the NFC. It's even between the Seahawks or the Rams, is what they have. Now, again, Buffalo's situation, not looking at it real closely. All I know is a few years ago, Buffalo went all in and got in a little bit of trouble with money. And you're seeing a lot of teams that all of a sudden, man, those numbers are kicking in with money. I don't know how Buffalo fixes all their problems. I know Buffalo's not in the same situation the Chargers are in as far as the amount of money they can spend. There are certain teams out there that have a ton of money to spend. The Chargers are one of them. The Raiders are one of them. But the Raiders could have $1 billion, and I don't think they could fix their problems. I think the Chargers are a lot closer to fixing things than the Bills. And I just think the Chargers are in a situation nationally, whereas we talk about charging it, until the Chargers do it on a consistent basis, they're never going to get the credit they deserve. And people don't want to jump on the Charger bandwagon yet.
I'm done believing in the Buffalo Bills. I'm not doing it. I'm not buying any stock. I'm selling all of it. You kept the guy that didn't draft a receiver this past year. You kept the guy that in reconstructing this team, he's done nothing to help Josh Allen. And then you hire an OC in the building when you just completely took an absolute dump on their chest and blaming them for a draft mistake. I don't love anything I see from them. I would feel more comfortable with the Chargers because I feel like everyone in Los Angeles is on the same page. With Buffalo, I feel like they're all on 2 different pages. So that's where that would worry me a lot.
So as we talk about it right here on the screen in front of me, it has the teams with the most projected cap space. Chargers, $94 million. Raiders, $83 million. Titans, $79 million. And then you have the first NFC team with the most cap space. Believe it or not, it's the Seahawks at $62 million and the Bengals at $60. So 4 of the top 5 teams are AFC teams, but the Chargers at $94 million, they're a playoff team. Raiders, last place team. Bengals, complete disaster. And again, if you're a Seattle fan, you have to feel pretty confident you can fix some things. There's some guys on that Seahawks roster, by the way, expected some raises. And so they're going to have to pay some guys.
I mean, if you look at their OC job too, like that is, talk about huge need you got to figure out. And since you won the Super Bowl, there's not a row of candidates that are lining up to take that. Do you think they could take Kingsbury? Maybe spine away? Yeah.
Well, the deal is, if you're Kingsbury, you're like, I ended up in a pretty good spot. I mean, we just read the odds. Both those teams are even to return. And Kingsbury, we know, likes the sun. We know had his good time in Southern California. You know, and remember a few years ago when he was coach of the Cardinals and they had that draft and everyone was at their, place, their house. Kingsbury's house looked insane. Like he was out of the 32 setups, he by far had the best setup going. And if you're Kingsbury, do you see him walking around with an umbrella and a poncho every damn day? Or do you see him walking around with the sunglasses, the convertible, and enjoying Southern California again?
Starbucks is probably better. So that'd be my pitch to him. Like, dude,
you got him everywhere. You got him everywhere.
But if you had the homegrown Starbucks,
doesn't matter.
Come on now.
He doesn't want to be bothered.
It's also very funny on his draft day. Like, you see everyone that was at home had like 1,000 screens, everything up, and he just had a laptop open, like a TV. It's like, really?
That's all you needed? The infinity pool, the rocks in Scottsdale. Yeah, he had a pretty good setup.
Yeah, he had a nice one. I mean, he also is the most Scottsdale guy of all time.
Yeah.
Like, if you had to tell me what Scottsdale would look like, it's Cliff Kingsbury right there. Then and there.
I'm saying he's staying in LA. He's staying with the Rams. I don't care what the offer is from Seattle. He's not going to the Seahawks. Some pasty girl that he's dating with her milky white legs. He's not going there. You kidding me?
All right. He's not doing it.
He's not doing it.
Do you have a lot of confidence in Seattle doing it again next year?
I kind of a coin flip. I mean, look, Sam Darnold won the Super Bowl, but Sam Darnold won the Super Bowl not making a mistake. That was the big thing. Hey, he didn't make a mistake. Can he even throw for 200 yards? I mean, he didn't turn the ball over. That was the big thing. I mean, there were a couple plays in there. Let's be honest. Even the first pass of the game, it looked like Sam Darnold almost threw a pick six. You go, whoa, that was close. I mean, that was it. And I understand JSN was hurt the majority of the game, and Sam Darnold's won a ton of games the last 2 years, and not to take anything away from him. But in my mind, do I put Sam Darnold as a top 5 quarterback in this league? I don't. I'm still not sold all the way in on I'd rather have Sam Darnold than Justin Herbert. No, I wouldn't. And people in Seattle would say, you're crazy. You're just saying that because you love Justin Herbert. Look, I'm just going by the eyeball test. I'm taking Justin Herbert over Sam Darnold every time. Every time.
I mean, he probably could have had
Justin Herbert over
picks.
Sam Darnold every time. Justin Herbert's my guy. Unless I said that wrong in my head. But yeah, I'm telling you right now, Justin Herbert's my guy, and Sam Darnold's not top 5 for me right now. Good for him. He won the trophy. Good for him.
You could not be a top 10 quarterback and win a Super Bowl. That's happened a lot.
Happened a ton. Trent Dilfer, people bring it up all the time. Joe Flacco, it's happened a bunch of times.
Nick Foles was a freaking backup and he won it. Like, their teams were just insane around them. Sam Darnold's not a top 10 quarterback. I would take Herbert over him 1,000 times out of 1,000. He probably should have had at least 2 picks against the Patriots, if we're being completely honest. He plays an insane NFC Championship game. He should deserve all the credit in the world for that. Performed against a Rams team that, for some reason, had that defensive number very, very often throughout the year. But if I was a Seattle fan, I'd be a little bit worried about who's in his ear this upcoming season, because there's a big difference between him with the good OC versus him without a good OC. He's not a franchise player, I would say. Like, we're not in 10 years going to go, remember those Sam Darnold years? Wow, what a player. We're going to be in 10 years. Who the hell was their quarterback? You know what I mean? It's going to be a good trivia question. That's where I'm at with Seattle. But hell of a story. And you got a Super Bowl ring. Herbert should have one in his career. The next 3 years, there should be a ring on his finger if he can just show up in the playoffs and he's not compared to James Harden in that manner.
Oh my gosh. To me, that's one of the worst things to be compared to. To be compared to James Harden. So yeah, it's interesting to see. I mean, Seattle's defense is insane. They got a coach who's still head coach who still calls the defense. It's a great job. Saw an interview with him on Kimmel last night where he said, I just wanted to be a defensive coach. Like, I had no desire to be a head coach. And he goes, I still call the defensive plays. And he goes, as a football player, he goes, I wasn't a good football player. He goes, my career ended in high school. He goes, I tell the guys what to do, and they kind of laugh that I can never do what they do, and it's an understanding. But he goes, I'm pretty good at calling defense, and he is. That Seattle defense is outstanding, and they have a GM that drafts as well as anybody. So Seattle has a good thing going right now. They got young players, but we often know how it goes. It's hard sometimes to put the success behind you and move forward to the next season. And for the rest of the NFL, they're moving forward to the next season today. And for Seattle, they're going to enjoy their time a little bit. And, it's not like, the old saying, act like you've been there before. Look, these guys are going to have a good time for a long time. And hopefully they aren't ready to come back and push. Good news is they're in the NFC. So the only time we have to worry about them would be in the Super Bowl if we see them, in the biggest game. We don't have to go through Seattle to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, go on a bender. Might as well. Take 2 weeks of just celebration. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. There's been a lot of talk, too, of like who could have beaten the Pats on their way to AFC Championship. And I want to ask, like, if going into next year, because we're turning the page, what team do you have more faith in? The Los Angeles Chargers or the New England Patriots?
See, I'm going to say the Chargers. I mean, it's again, the Chargers were a shadow of what they should have been. I mean, we this is where it sounds like we're making excuses. You lost both tackles. I want to see any team have success losing both tackles for an entire year. You lost both tackles. You lose those tackles. Your wide receiver threats weren't the best, right? Ladd had a disappointing season. Your running backs were injured the entire year. You were basically relying on a third string running back to do a lot of the dirty work. And we appreciate the effort, but again, we aren't talking about a Pro Bowl player. So when you look at Hampton has a lot of question marks next year, meaning, are you going to be durable? Because if injuries happen again, then you get the reputation. What's the deal with you? The best ability is availability. Hampton needs to be durable, meaning that you better be starting 15 of these 17 games next year, because the best players in the league, they don't miss time. Derrick Henry doesn't miss time. Robinson doesn't miss time. Gibbs doesn't miss time. Barkley doesn't miss time. And so what are you? And so let's see exactly what he is, because overall that was a disappointing rookie season. And I understand injuries happen, but fans don't give a rat's ass. We just want wins. That's the way it goes.
Think about all the guys that have to have a big 2026 offensively. I see Hampton has to have a big one. Ladd has to have a big season. Honestly, Trey Harris has to make a big second-year jump, because Keenan Allen's probably going to be out that door, and he's going to have to slide into that position and be ready to go. There's a lot of guys that are going to be in the Charger uniform that have to perform at a level that they haven't yet in their career. Justin Herbert, I would say the same thing. He's fallen short in the playoffs. He's getting the best voice he's ever gotten in his ear, and now he's probably going to have the best O-line if everything goes great this offseason. The excuses are done. These guys will need to perform at a level that makes them a championship team. And if they don't do that, then we're going to look back at it and go, what a monstrous missed opportunity, and what a complete embarrassment of a year by the Los Angeles Chargers. So with all these guys having to just rise above it, it should lead to, I'm saying should, it should lead to a year where they're better than the Patriots. It should lead to a year where they do take the AFC West. And I think that's why they kind of are the favorites here, because they're going to be healthy and they'll get their tackles back. And those are two of the best tackles in the league.
Again, this is what I've made this point for a while now, but this is why you have to win the division. You got to win the division. You got to get that home game. I mean, the Patriots had an easy road basically to get there. They weren't the number one seed, but they faced a banged up Charger team. They got by a Texans team who obviously have a quarterback in CJ Stroud that is a what the F quarterback. I mean, that's the worst one to have, right? To have the quarterback of, I don't know what we're getting. And you just find yourself going, what the F is happening? Our team is fine except for the guy that has the ball in his hands the most. This is really disappointing. And then Denver, they lucked into it when they end up facing a quarterback who hasn't started a game since 2023. As Matt Stafford said the other day, this was the easiest cakewalk to a Super Bowl championship of all time. And the Rams would have been in that position right now if it wasn't for a drop punt. But look, Seattle did what they had to do. The Rams couldn't do the simple things, and that's the way it goes. But there are a lot of teams, including the Denver Broncos, who are saying, we had a better chance to be Super Bowl champs than the Patriots. I mean, they barely got by the Broncos with Jarrett Stidham as a quarterback. It was insane. But things go the Patriots' way all the time. Things never seem to go our way. We have to make our own luck. You can't depend on, hey, things are going to go our way. They just never have. It's not what Charger football is about.
Oh, we're not lucky. Even though, maybe your owner just needs to have a couple massages, and that rubs a little luck for you. I think that's it. That's the route.
There's so much mess over there in New England. It's crazy. There's so many things that are a little bit nuts. All right. I wanted to do this with Josh. We might have to hold this back, but I wanted to ask you the 3 can't miss players in this year's draft that you would say, if I had to bet in my life savings, who am I extending my can't 3 miss guys in this draft? So we're going to wait till Josh joins us. I also want to promote to you too that Thursday show, we're going to announce the first ever Bulk Crew Podcast Hall of Fame class. Every year we'll add people to our Hall of Fame. But we would like to see if you're getting named to the Hall of Fame, hey, Hall of Famer so-and-so. Well, you let everybody know you're a Hall of Famer forever. That's the way it goes. You sign your checks, hey, HOF, okay? People will know which Hall of Fame you're in, all right? Every time. That's just the way it goes. But the Hall of Fame class, first one ever, we haven't decided on a total number on how many are going to go into the initial class. The 3 of us have to break it down a little bit, but make sure nobody misses the show on Thursday, 1:00 Pacific time, as we announce our first ever Bulk Crew Podcast Hall of Fame. Those are the people who've been supporting the show, obviously, for a long time. We started in 2022, so kind of excited about something, a little bit different to do there. But overall, that's the way it'll go on Thursday. Kind of interested. I hope there aren't too many hurt feelings. I also hope at the same time people are excited to say, hey, I got in. I got into this class. That was pretty cool to do. So
yeah. If you get arrested, it's your not get out of jail free card, but you gotta let them know I'm a Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Bulk Crew listener.
Yeah, if you get arrested, please don't call any of us. I mean, we probably aren't going to be able to help you out at all. That's kind of where it's at. So
unless you're in Indiana, I got some connections.
Do you have some connections?
Indianapolis area, yeah. We got some guys. Got a guy.
You got a guy that can help him out.
Got a guy. He's a little green on the teeth, or however that saying is. Green in the, what was it? You know what I mean? Not green on the teeth. What is it?
It's not green on the teeth. That's for sure. He needs a dentist. All right, I'm gonna give you right now. Here's the
let's do comments, and then we'll wait for Josh on that.
You got it. We'll go ahead. Get to the comments. You got to read them. I can't see.
All right, I got you, brother. Kev Adrian and a Spider-Man mirror pick.
Nice.
$4.99. Nothing to say. Just a big thanks for the content. Y'all keep dunking on us. I'm going to keep talking smack. I feel like Uncle Dave. Cheers to the first Bulk Crew Hall of Fame class. Thanks, Kev.
Dude, I appreciate that, Kev. Very nice. Thanks for the $4.99. I do appreciate the people that listen to the show. The fact you're staying with us during the off season means a ton to us too. So again, we're going to do the best we can to keep Charger football relevant throughout the year. And then in September, of course, it gets more fun for all of us. But we all have opinions on how we make this roster better and what's missing, and watching what other teams are doing that we might want to try and get in our way.
I have an idea, I think, for the offseason. I just popped in my head. Shoot, live on air. Should I just rip it for you?
Go ahead. This is what we do.
Sunday shows, relationship day. You submit relationship questions, and we give our honest take on it.
Dude, I think you should submit your relationship problems and people give their honest take on how to solve your problems.
Okay. I mean, I'll give it to you. We'll call it Love Day.
Yeah, I don't know how many people. I know we have Valentine's Day coming up this weekend too. I don't know how many people are single in our chat, but you are the single one on the show for sure.
All right.
I'm sure people have a lot of opinions on what to do.
We'll workshop it. It. All right, AK. Josh, my baby brother. Let's talk. $1.99.
Dude, AK, appreciate it. Josh will catch the show in its entirety. Again, we're waiting for Josh to hopefully join us as he's trying to get into his hotel in Baton Rouge. Again, Josh is one of those where I don't know about you, Mario, but when I have a bad day, it never gets better. Like if it starts off with a bad day, it just continues to get worse. Where I'm like, I'm just going to go to bed and try again tomorrow. He's like, nothing has worked today. Plane delayed, rent a car not there, in a city he's never been to, a crappy city he's never been to. And now he's just like, I'm having a bad day. I don't think Josh has ever called me to tell me he's having a bad day. By the way.
That's a big drink at the hotel. It's like, I need a drink.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
Yeah.
Sal Good now, $10. Thanks for your show, guys. I'm counting on you guys keeping us busy and keeping your show going during the NFL offseason. We will, Sal. That's this thing keeps Saul cooking.
Is it Sal or Saul?
Huh.
What do you think?
Didn't really see that one coming, man.
All right. I think it's Saul. Saul, appreciate the $10 for sure, man. Of course, we're doing the best we can. I appreciate you having faith in us.
All right, next one we got Amy O FBU 999. Big word. Now that we are past season, what would you guys do first? Dream player on the agency rumor mill you look to sign. I want Linderbaum or a center. P.S. Truly fave show of the season here. Thank you, Amy. What you got here, Dave?
All right, for me, I love the free agency stuff. Right, I want to see who we could possibly get. Free agency obviously will get going very soon. And everybody wants Linderbaum, Amy. Everyone has been talking about him on this show for a couple months. We're all saying, what are the chances? You know, who also knows we want him is obviously Minter knows that we want him too. It's one of those where I think a lot of teams in the NFL, I mean, we're seeing a lot of kind of old school things all of a sudden, right? What goes around comes around in this league. Like all of a sudden, you know, a certain offense is the way things go, to all of a sudden defense wins championships again, to all of a sudden you're getting running backs. I mean, we're seeing running backs drafted in the first round, multiple ones where you didn't see for a while, where the game changes, but then it kind of stays the same. And so usually with teams, when you have an offensive coach and you get rid of him, you go defensive coach and vice versa. That's the way things go all the time. Right now, when you saw that it was two defensive coaches that were in the Super Bowl, you saw it was defense that won that Super Bowl. That was a big deal. But if defenses are winning Super Bowls, that means there's probably a weakness in that offensive line, and the Chargers definitely have that. So Linderbaum would be a great start in free agency for me.
It'd be a sexy one. If not, the Bills center, Connor McGovern, he's also going to be a free agent. I wouldn't mind snagging him. I know he's probably going to be re-signed from Buffalo Bills, but again, this is dream signing. That'd be excellent. Another dream, if we're talking dream, Kenneth Walker is going to be a free agent. Just saying.
Yeah, they aren't going to spend their money on Kenneth Walker. They aren't.
I don't think so either, but this is a dream. Like she said, dream.
There's a part of me who would like to see him leave to a different team, just not a team in the AFC. Like, I'd like to see Seattle weekend somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if we have to see Seattle in the Super Bowl next year, then the talk changes to here's a team that's been here before. Here's a team looking to repeat. Nothing's new. Whereas, let's say the Chargers, you know, you have how many guys first time in this game? It would be a big deal. I would like to see Kenneth Walker with a different team.
So just staying on this really quick. Double O is a top 10 free agent. Do you know where Fox Sports has him predicted to sign with? What team?
Who do they have? What team?
Baltimore.
To go back, huh? Wow,
All Minter back.
Wow, that'd be
a big kick to the dick.
You know, it'd be a bigger kick to the dick would be Kenneth Walker going to the Chiefs and drafting and using the draft to draft your pass rusher. To go, you know, we'll take that running back.
All right, next question.
He doesn't have very good hands. He's not great at catching the ball out of the backfield. True. So is that an Andy Reid thing? You know?
That's a good point.
Hell of a running back, though.
Oh my gosh. It's so patient.
Yeah.
AK 999. Uncle Dave, you will have hate me for this non-negative. This is so damn hard to read. You will have hate me for this and not negative. I love. The favorite numbers are close, but if 15 is healthy by training camp, the odds will flip. Also, Josh, I will text you later, bro. AK, I mean this on the very sincerely. If at any time you see it's just Dave and I gotta read the comments, I want you to use ChatGPT and just text it in there and then copy and paste. Because Josh can do this. I can't. I need it to be a little bit cleaner, brother. Just a little bit. But I love you. Thank you for the $10. You're my favorite. I'll give you a kiss if I ever see you in person.
So do you believe, okay, so 15's healthy. They're talking about Ladd. Do you believe Ladd was unhealthy last year?
No, I think he's saying 15 being Patrick Mahomes. The odds will flip.
Okay. All right. They were losing when he was healthy. The Chiefs were struggling when he was healthy last year. Everything around him got old really fast. Wasn't working. I don't know. I'm not sold on the Chiefs right now. I know it's hard to bury the Chiefs because they dominated everybody for 10 years, but I think it's over. I think it's done.
All right. I'm not gonna say that yet, but I like your confidence. Hey, there he is.
What's up, sunshine?
Well, what's up, beautiful?
Where were we?
Talking about how angry you are.
Yeah.
You want me to read some comments?
Yeah, we need help on the comments.
Yeah, dude, I tried to speak AK and I'm not fluent.
All right. Have you read this one yet?
No.
All right, here we go. Jonathan Roncone, $4.99. Angie and Amy are no-brainer first ballot Hall of Famers. They always show up and have great takes. I agree with that. 100%. This is the best comment maybe ever.
Yeah, you know what? So I announced, Josh, about 5 minutes ago that the big Hall of Fame show is going to be on Thursday. And we're excited. We don't know the total number. We still haven't finished putting everybody in or making our list, checking it twice kind of a deal. But on the side here, people in the chat are saying who they think are Hall of Famers, which I kind of love.
I love that too. Anything crazy?
No, nothing crazy so far.
Oh, really? Someone asked, how do you ask for anal? That got snuck in there.
Whoa.
I don't know how that happened.
All right. I see that AK wanted to talk. Has he told you what he wants to talk about?
Nice. It is going to message you privately.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Next one comes from Pappy. We met Pappy at the Charger game with the Texans.
Yeah, he's great
guy. Pappy, $2. Bolt up. Chargers Super Bowl. We're coming. I can't read Roman numerals, but I'm assuming that's the next Super Bowl.
It
right?
is 61. That is the next
61.
one. Yes, that is it. So we went through the odds, Josh. Right now, the odds are that it's from the NFC. Right now, it's even Seattle and the Rams, and the AFC. They're picking the Bills. And as people wrote in the chat, they pick the Bills every year.
Every time. Never happens.
Never happens.
Never happens. All right. Next one comes from J-Man, $2. Your take on the Giants hiring Greg Roman.
Who wants to go first?
You can go.
I told you my opinion about him like last week. He's the greatest hang of all time, and I will continue to say that. There's no reason why this guy continues to get jobs in the NFL when he's not good. Like, he has such a reputation of not being good, Mario. That's amazing that he gets hired time and time again by people that keep firing him, and then they hire him again. It's crazy. Like, why would you fire him if you're John Harbaugh and then hire him?
Siblings hire him. That's the craziest thing.
It's insane.
You know, like Greg Roman, I agree with what Josh is saying. Greg Roman's that guy. This is one of it, like, it's a running thing, Josh, that I do. It just as a random deal. Like, you're driving down the road with your buddy and you just turn to each other. I wonder what Greg Roman's doing right now. He's that guy. I don't know how. I mean, he must be the greatest hang of all time. Not the greatest offensive coach, but he's like, dude, you know, hey, let's hang out with guys that are fun. What's Greg's number? You guys going to call Greg? Who's calling Greg? That's where we're at. Because it makes no effing sense at all. Coast to coast, he is stuck.
Yeah.
I bet you house some beers. House some.
100%.
And to that guy's comment, by the way, just Matt Nagy and Greg Roman in one room with Jackson Dart. That poor guy's career. I feel so bad for him, man. That's a tough go.
AK 199 says, I'm sorry, Mario. I will save my money.
No, you don't have to apologize. I'm just, ChatGPT is great to use. That was just my point. I use it in every email I gotta send to someone important. ChatGPT is good at getting a little read through.
Yeah, now he took it as an insult.
I know.
It went from $10 to $199. Good job, Mario.
Next thing you know, it's gonna be poop delivered to me.
Brian Plant, $10 says, looking forward to the off-season entertainment.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the shows. We are.
Josh, I had an idea for you.
Oh boy.
Sunday Love Day. We answer relationship questions from listeners.
I used to do a dating podcast, and I would love to answer relationship questions on the show. I think it'd be great.
Dude, I said we should flip it around and let Mario just ask all of his questions and people on the chat solve his problems.
We could do that too.
It's Valentine's weekend.
Half the show should be like that.
We could do. All right, I'll go through. I'll say on me or on her, and we just whose fault it was.
Perfect, dude.
Yeah.
This is it. If I wasn't part of the show, I would definitely be into watching this show. I'm in.
All right, we're just going to change the names up a lot, but yeah, then we can do it. I'm going to stay single 199.
Oh, there you go.
He says, Mario, I love you.
That's nice. And Mario said the same thing just a second ago. Said to give him a big kiss. He loves him.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't get offended, AK. Mario's not trying to hurt your feelings.
Not at all.
All right, there you go.
there we go, right there. All right. So, Josh, just to recap for the people who are tuning in late, this might help you as well. We talked about Adam Gase joining the Charger coaching staff. My point was this on Gase is, yeah, he hasn't been around the league in a long time, yet he's a former head coach. At one time, he's considered an offensive genius. He wasn't a good head coach with the Jets or the Dolphins. But at the same time, if Mike McDaniel does what he's supposed to do and this offense is clicking and he gets offered a head coaching job next year, we're able to go in with the same offense in 2027 with a guy that has a familiar voice to Justin Herbert. And I think it's a good hire.
I agree. And the whole phrase, you can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. I don't think that applies to coaches. Like if you have a bunch of guys that know offense or defense, whatever it is, get as many of them as you can in one room and bounce ideas off of each other. I think it's a fantastic idea. He might be a nut job, Mario, from what we've seen, but he's our nut job, and we love nut jobs with the Chargers, so he's welcome in LA. I mean, Jim Harbaugh's staff is crazy, right? You got Adam Gase with the eyeballs. You got Jim Harbaugh himself, who's nutty, and then Mike McDaniels, who might have some things going on behind the scenes. So who knows what goes on with the Chargers facility?
It's like they just want to freak people out at every press conference. Like we're just, you know what I mean? That's a good move. I think people are overreacting to Adam Gase's voice in the room. So when people are like, it's going to fall apart. Like he's relaxed.
It's not going to fall apart. It's not going to fall apart. Come on, guy's been looking for a job for like 6 years. It's not going to fall apart. He's not going to go and do something stupid and get fired day one. He's not going to go bare ass on the on the copier. You know what I mean? Come on. What do you think he's going to do? The deal is, I'll tell you right now, I think I consider myself a pretty normal person, which most people consider themselves a normal person, which I know is abnormal, but is to be in that room with Harbaugh, Gase, and McDaniel at the same time. Like, I think one time would I want to be in that room, not every time. Like, I think that room would give me anxiety. Like, I'd want to have my chair next to the door so I could just sneak out. Like, that's a crazy get up right there.
And then, like, Justin Herbert doesn't talk. He's just in between all these guys, just crazy.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it works out.
When Justin Herbert's that guy that every time he walks in the door and sees Madison Pier, and every story starts with, you won't believe this shit or this fucking guy. And the story goes, that's his way. You know, it's crazy at work. Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about this, and call me crazy if I'm wrong on this. If the Chargers don't bring back Keenan Allen, has there ever been an offense in NFL history that has less personalities than the Chargers? Sure. Like Trey Harris, from what we've seen, nothing. QJ, nothing. Ladd, a little bit. Arande, nothing. Amari Hampton does not talk. Justin Herbert, nothing. Like, there's nothing on this offense, personality-wise.
Nothing. Yeah,
Joe
it's
Alt?
just
You going to Joe Alt for hot takes? Come on.
That's true. It's a good point.
I mean,
It's
insane.
That's tough.
We're really entering that era though, where like you're not going to get that much from press conferences anymore. Actually, I mean, that being said, LeBron just gave us a lot last night, but NFL wise, I mean, I feel like that's really taking a step back. The guys are just too trained.
All right, AK wants to jump in again. 499. What I was trying to say, I love the Chargers. I love the Chargers are slightly favorite, but if Mahomes is healthy, the odds will flip. I promise. Uncle Dave, I love you, and Mario.
Thank you.
So he's saying if Mahomes was healthy, then they'd have the Chiefs as the favorites over the Chargers.
Which makes sense.
I disagree with you guys. Again, we swept the goddamn Chiefs last year. The Chargers are favored according to Vegas odds to win the division, Josh. I'm not concerned about the Chiefs. I'm not
concerned about the Chiefs. The Broncos should be the team that we're more concerned about at this point. But the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, you can never count them out. So I don't think that roster is very good. I don't think they've done a good job constructing the team around Patrick Mahomes at all. Broncos, to me, are definitely the best team in the division other than the Chargers in terms of a complete roster, for sure. Best defense in the NFL. Them and the Texans, I think.
I think also if you put Chiefs at a second odds favorite or third, they're just going to get bet, so much that's going to change. And or, what happens in free agency, what happens in the draft. Just a lot of action is going to come into them where that's going to change. And again, do you really want to doubt the best quarterback in the NFL or one of them in Patrick Mahomes?
Dude, right now, if you're doing a Jacksonville show, okay, I don't know who the hell's doing that, but if you're doing a Jacksonville show, it's not just a goddamn nightmare. You're pretty confident.
Shout out Mia O'Brien, friend of the program. She's great.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying, if you're Jacksonville, you're thinking good things about the 2026 season too. You're pumped up and fired up about what you just did and Liam Cohen, and it's only going to get better from here. But for the Chargers, I honestly think we're in really good shape. Right now we went through the cap money, Josh. Chargers have $94 million. That's the most out of any team in the NFL to spend.
Yeah, you just got to spend smart money. Like, are you throwing $18 million at Zion Johnson?
Hey, you can stop on the word spend.
Yeah, spend money, please. I beg you. We'll see what they do, man. I mean, Joe Ortiz, the eyes are all on him. Like, he kind of screwed it up last offseason. He did screw it up last offseason with offensive line. Let's get it right this time around. Another comment here. Jonathan Roncone, $4.99. The best thing about this pod, it's like sitting around the fire, having some beers and cigars, talking some shit, and loving our Chargers.
That's
literally
exactly
our goal. That's literally
That's exactly how we want it to sound. Yeah, if you ever feel like we're talking down to you, we mess this thing up. That is not the goal.
No. The podcast talk down to people? Is that a thing?
All the time. Everyone with a microphone. Every guy with a microphone talks down to people. It's bizarre.
So when I listen to a podcast, because I listen to some, not a lot, podcaster, I'm listening to like a game on TV, like the two broadcasters. I want it to feel like I'm hanging out with them. That's why when I listen to Mike Tirico and what's his name, Chris Collinsworth, I could never hang out with those two guys. Like, there's nothing relatable to me between me and them. I like that we do the show like this. I'm glad we don't have tons of stats to bore people. I think it bores people.
Anybody can look up the stats. It's boring. It is boring. Stats are always boring. Yeah. It's just the way it is, man. I don't even know what to say. It's like, yeah, Tony Romo bores me. A lot of these guys, they all talk down. Broadcasters
Tony
do.
Romo has gotten way worse. Worse over the last like 5 years.
Dude, you have gotten worse. Used to be something people talked about. Now you're a pain in the ass. Nobody wants to hear your voice anymore. He's lazy. He just sounds lazy all of a sudden.
He still gave me my favorite call ever when Dak Prescott's ankle was in an L shape. He just goes, I think you rolled it. They're like, okay, well, we have to cut the commercial.
All right, you got a rant for us?
I got two of them for you. All right, one is the Olympics. Look, man, this delay is absolutely insane. I mean, I don't even know when this delay is, but it's unwatchable. I don't like the Winter Olympics anyway, but I'm like, there's nothing on TV. I'm gonna watch the Olympics. I literally watched somebody speed skate, and 2 seconds later, they're on the podium with their gold medal. I'm like, well, how did that happen? Because the Olympics, the delay is like 8 to 80 days. Like, I have no idea. Like, when did these Olympics take place? The delay is way too long. When Lindsey Vonn broke her leg the other day, that happened at like 5 a.m. Pacific time, and then they show it after the Super Bowl. What's happening here? What happened actually showing events closer to the time? I understand it's in Milan. Dude, run everything live. And then it's up to people to get up in the middle of the night and watch this. The delay makes it unwatchable to me. If I already know the outcome to all this, why am I watching any of it? And I'm watching this goddamn speed skating, and I'm seeing Jake Paul. And I'm like, what the hell's he doing there? The guy was just making racist comments 24 hours ago in Santa Clara. All of a sudden, there he is in Milan. But then Mike Tirico's there too, who just literally was calling the Super Bowl. But there he is back in Italy. I can't stand it. By the way, Jake Paul's girlfriend or wife or whatever, fastest skater in the world. Crazy to watch that.
Oh, really?
I was really rooting that she would fall. I can't tell you I wasn't. I really wanted to see her just wipe out, but she didn't. She's fastest one going.
Are we allowed to make fun of people for the way they cry, or is that not allowed?
Oh my God, dude, he's a bad
Depends
crier.
what it is.
He would cry. Did you see him cry yesterday?
I saw it.
Yeah,
How do you cry? What are you usually crying over?
because his girlfriend or wife, fiance, I think, broke, set the record or whatever, the world record, and won the gold medal.
Oh,
He was with, I think, her mom and dad. Who, Jesus, like you struck gold compared to where you started. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some ugly ass jeans there. Let's just be honest. Holy cow! Good God.
Anyways, how about
What's
the dude
going on in
that
the Netherlands?
let's make fun of the crying.
I got my.
no, his. You can look up the crying. It was, I don't know. I understand he's happy, dude. It was kind of like
It's an ugly cry.
I can't even say what I want to say.
He looked better when he broke his jaw in 2 places. Yeah,
it's true. How about the dude that admitted to cheating on his girlfriend? That was nuts. You see that?
I didn't see that. No, I didn't. Explain.
Dude is a guy from like Norway or something. I forget what country it was, but he gets interviewed after his whatever he did. I don't even know what event it was. He got the bronze, and he starts speaking in another language, but they like translate it. He admits to cheating on his girlfriend during the interview and just breaks down in tears. Like what?
I saw that.
Why would you do that?
Jesus.
Yep. The moment you're on top of the world, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, Nancy, I slipped one to Sarah like 2 nights ago. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like what?
So weird. I'm on top of the world, and I was on top of her 24 hours ago. Yeah.
Also,
I'm gonna cry here, so I put all my guilt on you. Okay.
I just saw the Jake Paul cry.
Take me back. Yeah.
That is an ugly cry. That is a really bad cry.
It's a bad one.
It's a bad one.
There you go.
What's
All right.
your
My other
second
rant
rant?
is my other rant's this. It's Tom Brady, dude. It's just overexposed. Too much Tom Brady. Man, I don't know what the hell to tell you. I mean, good God, Tom, you're everywhere. It's insane. My biggest complaint with Tom Brady is number one, this guy loves to brag about how great his dad was. He's his hero. We've all seen the clip where that little kid asks him, "Who's your hero?" And he starts to cry and goes, "It's my dad." Well, this guy might be the worst dad, meaning Tom. Guy has 3 kids, never around his kids. Guy's running the Raiders, never even around the Raiders. He's sitting there broadcasting games on Fox. He's producing 49er shows for AMC. The other day at the Super Bowl, when the game's in Santa Clara, which technically is supposed to be San Francisco, and they bring out the great 49er players of all time with their special Letterman jackets on the stage, and they call out Joe Montana, crowd goes apeshit. They call out Steve Young and Jerry Rice and Ronnie Lott and Tom Brady. What year was Tom Brady on the goddamn Niners? Just because he was a fan as a little kid doesn't mean he gets to be on the stage, but I guess he does because he's Tom Brady. Dude, Tom, take a break. I mean, good God, I went back and looked at my wedding video the other day because we found a bunch of clips. Tom Brady was in that one too. I'm like, Jesus, I didn't even know Tom was invited. Tom is everywhere at this point. Enough, Tom. Go visit your kids once in a damn while. The Raiders have the first pick in the draft. Don't be afraid to stay focused. Jesus. No wonder your ex-wife was banging the karate instructor. Focus on what's important.
Jiu-jitsu.
Oh, okay.
It was jiu-jitsu.
Oh, same thing. And when I get my ass kicked, I'm going to go, hey, was that jiu-jitsu or karate? I'm not going to know.
Hey, Tom Brady is on like the short list of people that are just too like everywhere too much. All right, here you go. You ready for this? The Rock. Like, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
I could deal with less of The Rock.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart is everywhere.
Good God.
Drewski, for anybody who knows who Drewski is, he's everywhere right now.
Did he make
I
a deal
still
with the
enjoy
devil?
Drewski though.
I don't get how he got where he's at. I don't see it. I don't understand any of it.
Drewski?
Yes, I don't understand him more than anybody
Social
on the
media.
planet.
He's really
for
funny.
younger people. Yeah.
Good God. That guy's pulling too, Mario.
Tom
Better
Brady
than you,
is
probably.
everywhere.
That's what sucks.
Probably.
You're such a much better looking guy than that guy. That guy's pulling better than you.
Yeah. You know what, Keith, though? Turns out it's not all about the face.
All right.
All right.
Wait, let's keep this
I love
going,
that.
Josh. So you're saying Dwayne, Drewski, Kevin Hart, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
I think we're missing another one. Burt
Honestly,
Kreischer.
Burt
Yeah,
Kreischer's
dude, enough,
annoying.
man. Yeah, Bert's too much.
Yeah.
Put your shirt on. And also, and I love this next person, but he's everywhere. Is Shaq like everywhere, all the time?
Yeah.
I love Shaq though.
And I like him
I
too.
love
It's just like sometimes I'm like, do I need him to be in every commercial? Like it doesn't do it. It's not doing anything.
The Dodgers announced yesterday Shaq has his own bobblehead night coming out at Dodger Stadium. How crazy is that? I never
When
even
did
saw
he play
Shaq
for
at a
Dodgers?
Dodger game. Never even saw him at a Dodger game. Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
He does play the hits, but
All right.
All right.
You got anything else?
I'm in this kind of shitty hotel.
Yeah. How's Baton Rouge? Baton Row.
Dude, I booked the wrong night for my hotel at the Hyatt. So I'm at a Comfort Inn on the first level in Baton Rouge. You can imagine what that's like. They hooked it up though, so like they saved my ass. But yeah, man.
Is it one of those where you're like cars parked in front of the window of your room?
Dude, it is. Dude, I've kind of, yeah. You're right about that.
You're like planes, trains, and automobiles today. Is what you were.
I've just had a rough day, man. It's just been tough.
Don't put your hand in any water. The old saying in
what
Louisiana.
Airline did you fly?
Alligator in there.
Delta. Yeah.
When Delta
199
screws you, they screw you.
Dude, I usually like Delta. Today, not so much. AK 199 Mario. It's all love. I will be ready next time. There we go. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah,
Okay.
AK, you're all good, brother. I was just joshing with you.
All right.
Too much
Dude,
Nikki Glazer. They're saying in the chat too. Think too much Nikki. B. Hannon says too much Nikki Glazer. You think?
That's a good one. Way too much of her too.
There used to be too much Amy Schumer for a long time. Way too much.
Oh god,
dude, we got
any humor is too much.
Oh yeah, we got overdose with her. It's like,
Oh
all
yeah,
right,
here you go.
no one
Bro,
really
we
likes
got
her that much.
you got a great call on this one right here. Dude, Stifler's mom is in everything right now, and that goddamn voice.
that?
She's you ever see the movie American Pie? She doesn't look like she did American Pie. She was with Two Broke Girls. She's god dang it, I can't remember the actress's name, but she's everywhere with that annoying voice. He's right. These guys are too young, Jonathan, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. She's made like a comeback. Yeah, she's been everywhere.
Everywhere.
Oh yeah, didn't know.
Yeah.
Jennifer Coolidge.
She was in White Lotus.
Jennifer Coolidge. God dang it, that's it. Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah, too much. All right.
I'm good.
What a show.
Stifler's mom. It was only like 27 years ago that movie came out, but still she's known as Stifler's mom. She's in the movie for like 30 seconds too. This is hilarious. There you go. All right. Thursday show is a big show. You do not want to miss this. All right. If you follow the Bolt Crew podcast, it's our first ever Hall of Fame class. We're going to announce it on the show, and working on music and everything to hopefully go with it, that we don't get taken off a cease and desist, but we're trying to make it a big deal because it's a big deal. All right. So make sure you do not miss Thursday show, 1 o'clock Pacific time. You just hit your head right into the gutting wall.
Yeah, it kind of hurt, dude. That wall's thick. It's not a dry wall.
You had a thumbtack.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods poster.
Christ almighty. No give on that thing.
Oh boy. All right. We'll be back on Thursday, 1 o'clock Pacific time. If you have a comment, please leave it on the YouTube page. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for being with us today. For Mario Heron, Josh Palais, I'm Dave Palais. We'll see you Thursday, everybody.
Hey, yeah, hey, it's the Bolt Crew, and we always winning. Hey, go against us, I don't recommend it. Hey, it's the Bolt Crew, best up in the business. It's the Bolt Crew, repping for the city. Macking on and off the field like Khalil. They hate on us cause we keep it too real. I'm talking smack like Phil Rivers in the field. Oh, you mad again cause we kept it real? Why you mad? Hey, I'm talking smack, I feel like Uncle Dave. Hey, I bring the pain, I feel like Derwin James. I could run and gun, I feel like Herbo down the lane. I feel like LT the way I'm stiff arming these lanes. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah. Ay, we just wanna win, we just wanna win, ay. Putting on for the city, putting on for the city. We just wanna win, we just wanna win, yeah.